today's edition of the Inside Out Show. My name is Sandra Eze. Thank you so much for joining us. My audience, you are amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, so Charles, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Are you sure you're good?
I'm fine. I'm good.
Okay. Because a little birdie told me something, but it's fine. So today we are discussing something very interesting, obviously relationships, which is always usually a hot topic. Why date? What is the relevance of dating? 21st century, yes, there is courtship and then there is dating. So today we're going to find out the difference between both, and also we'll understand why date. What is the benefit of dating? We see people who date for years, 3, 4, 5 years, and you end up perhaps getting married or separating. But if you end up getting married, you realize that these people don't even know themselves, and yet they dated for so long. Why is that? Why date for 9 years and then you get married and after a year you divorce? Does dating have to be for marriage? So many questions. That's basically why we're shining the light on this topic. Why date? You meet my panelists right after the break. Stay with us. This is the Inside Out Show. Okay, everyone, welcome right back to the Inside Out Show. We're discussing why date. I'm so looking forward to this discussion because, well, for young people out there who are still in the dating world, this is such a relevant topic, I'm telling you.
You just say like us, you said out there. That's still in the dating.
Okay, for young people like us, are you happy now?
Yes.
Okay.
Still young.
Okay, for young people like us who are still in the dating industry, this is a very important and relevant topic. Yes, and also for parents, you can also listen to this and educate your children, your teenagers, or the young people like us that you have out there. Okay, it's time to meet our panelists, everyone. Starting first with Phoebe O. Kings, who is CEO Roses and Blings. Thank you for being here. And John Akirele, an entrepreneur. Thank you. Finally, Helen Akindele, thank you for being here. Okay, so let's start first of all with you, Phoebe. Before we get to why we should date, what is dating? Establish that term for us first.
Dictionary-wise, you would find dating to mean being out there, going out there, meeting people, okay? And then it also defines dating to mean being out there specifically for someone specific with a reason, okay? So if we want to compound both, personally, I would say that dating is your ability to be out there for someone for a reason.
Okay. So it has to be for a reason.
For a reason, yes.
Okay. So John, from the average man's view, what's your understanding of dating?
It's a business venture.
What? Did I hear you say dating is a business venture?
Yes, it is.
Wow, that's
because
the
two
first.
people are in it for profit making.
Okay. Please go on.
Okay, so when I say it's a business venture, for every businessman, you go into a business with the mind of making profit. So also for dating, you go into dating for a reason, which is supposedly marriage.
Okay.
So if I'm dating a lady, she must be a prospect. Do you understand? So that if she's a good prospect, then she'll make a good wife for me. The same thing as a businessman. So I'm thinking in that line. If I'm going to do this business, will it be profitable? If it is, then I'll put in my money. And if it's not, I'll back out. Same for dating. As I said to you, dating to me is a business venture.
Okay, fair enough. Helen, let me get your take on it. Dating.
Okay, personally, dating is your ability to meet someone you're comfortable with in a comfortable environment. Well, for a reason also.
Okay. So being with someone you're comfortable with for a reason. Now let's bring it to courtship. Let's strike a difference. What is courtship, Phoebe? I start with you because you're the professional.
Okay. Courtship is, let me explain it the way it will be very understandable. Okay? I'm going to give
hold on. Before you tell me, John, what is courtship?
Okay, let me put it to you from my own perspective. We have dating, we have relationship, we have courtship, we have marriage. So let me pick it one by one. Dating, like I said, is a business venture. That's your period of prospecting to see if this is going to be a good client or a good business venture to put in my money, time, effort, and energy. Now, when you move beyond that stage of dating, you come into relationship. Now, what is relationship? Relationship is dating coupled with investment.
So hold on, when you're dating, it's not a relationship.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not. But once commitment comes into dating, it becomes a relationship. Now, at that point in time, you have signed an agreement. Because we are coming from dating, do you understand? As at that circle, you now know, oh, this lady is fit to go. I think I'm comfortable, we have to move on. We move into relationship, where we sign an agreement that I'll be seeing you and you alone. You'll be seeing me and me alone. We are in a relationship. Then once you move in that relationship with your commitment from both parties, you move into courtship. It shows that you are graduating from your crèche to your nursery to primary to secondary and then university. So your end product, which is the university, is the marriage.
Okay. Now, Phoebe, let's hear your angle.
Okay. I would go back to the basis.
Okay.
Everybody sees courtship the way he has, dating the way he has explained it. But in the real sense, when you decide to get up and look for someone else to start anything at all with, you have a purpose, there is a focus, and you're getting there. Now, when you want to date a fellow human being, you're already in a relationship. The moment you see that person and you say, this is the person I want to sit down and talk with, I want to get to know this person beyond the ordinary, that is dating. For me, you're already in a relationship. Okay?
Hold on. I'm trying to understand. Sorry to cut you. So if I see him and I like him, and maybe we go out on the first meeting just to ask each other questions, and does that mean we're already in a relationship? I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
Dating is different from going out on a date.
Okay.
That should be specifically clear.
Okay.
I'm going out on a date with someone. I can go out on a date with a girlfriend. Okay? That is not dating. I can go out on a date with my husband. That is not dating. Dating is you going out to meet someone for a purpose. There is a reason behind your stepping out to even start talking to that person in the first place. You don't start talking to everybody you see on the road with the intention to date the person.
Right.
Okay? So as far as I am concerned, from a professional point of view, if you decide and you start dating somebody, you are in a relationship. There is no need for you to wait. There's no graduating course as far as I'm concerned. You're already in a relationship. I've seen you. You're my friend. I like you. Something clicks in me that makes me decide to say, I want to see this person beyond this point. I want to be able to point at this person and say, hey, I have something more with this person. Take, for example, we're friends in school. We're all seated here. I can decide for this moment that he's my friend and we roll together, we talk together, we do things together. But I get up and pick him as someone I want to date. He is no longer my friend. So that means that I am in a relationship with him.
Okay.
Now, as far as courtship is concerned, courtship is that at that point when you have made up your mind that this is the person I would like to settle down with and spend the rest of my life with this person. That period begins your courtship. More like you're now working towards settling down, getting married, being known as a Mr. for a woman or a Mrs. for a man.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Let me break it down as easily as the layman would understand. So dating period is like trial.
It's a relationship period when you're trying out to say, okay, I want to be with you. Exactly. I want to be with you. Can we make it work? Is it going to work? Do you have what I want? Do I have what you want? Okay. Can we become one?
When we graduate from there, you move on to courtship.
Courtship. That is at the point when you've made up your mind, this is the right person for me. So at that point, probably with the African culture, every other part of the family is coming into the picture.
Coming up next on the show.
I know where you're coming from. Getting to understand how the opposite sex thinks. How the opposite sex, whatever. Ask your father, please.
When it comes to sex education, I freak out. Personally, this is a personal experience.
In some clans, from 13-year-old, you are old enough to go into dating.
From 13-year-old?
Yes.
Are you calling that dating? Because if you really understand what dating is about, you will not let your 15-year-old go out with a guy in the name of dating.
What if there's a reason behind it?
Please, give me the reason.
So this brings us to the question of why date? What is the relevance of the... Helen, why do you think dating is important?
I believe I'm the youngest here, so I have to speak for the younger youth.
Yeah, that's why you're in that seat.
Well, personally, dating is like the first stage. You don't jump into the third stage. You have to start from the beginning. Now, some people get it wrong because probably they didn't prepare or because probably they didn't ask the right questions. Like she said, dating is you trying to know the other person, trying to see if you can tolerate some things and see if the person can tolerate you as well. So if you want to get serious with someone, you have to start by dating. So I think dating is the first stage, so you have to like start from the first stage.
Okay, now having established that, let's talk about dating age, right?
Okay.
You would see, I remember, well, I didn't date until I was 18 going on 19. That was the first time I ever dated someone. But you look at the 21st century we are in right now, you see a child of 14 and they're dating. And then the society would say, it's fine, let them date this person because he or she is trying to understand how the opposite sex thinks or this or that. So looking at it from that angle where the society is getting to a point where they can allow a 15-year-old person to maybe date a 17-year-old guy, you're like, yeah, they're dating, let them be, and you're coming to the house and everything. Why do we have such mix-up? For the young person, what is the relevance of dating?
The truth is, there is a gross misconception out there. A very, very low standard understanding of what we are talking about. And I blame parents. I seriously blame parents. Okay? At this point, like you said, there is a 15-year-old dating a 17 or 18-year-old. Excuse me, please, what are they doing? Are you calling that dating? Because if you really understand what dating is about, you will not let your 15-year-old go out with a guy in the name of dating.
What if there's a reason behind it?
Please, give me the reason. Give me whatever reason that could be.
Getting to understand, I told you that most people would say,
that doesn't work. I know where you're coming from. Getting to understand how the opposite sex thinks, how the opposite sex, whatever, ask your father, please. Go and sit down and have a talk with your dad. Okay? You want to know how an opposite sex thinks and you're a boy? Sit down and have a word with your mother. Let her tell you what you're supposed to know at your age. You go up. First of all, we asked, what is dating? We already know you're meeting someone for a purpose. Okay. What is the purpose of a 15-year-old meeting a 17-year-old in the name that you want to know? What? Hello? For me, that doesn't work.
Okay.
That doesn't work. That is actually where the moral degradation we have today has started from.
So if you're not up to 18, you have no business
Please,
dating.
you have no business. If you need things to understand, there are books, there are older ones in your family, there are your parents, there are mentors, there are coaches. Talk to them. Ask them questions.
All right, Helen, let me hear from you.
Let me first start by saying I did not grow.
Okay, go on.
I did not grow up in that environment of a 15-year-old dating a 17-year-old.
Okay.
No, not at all. And although you see people doing that, and then you hear your mom telling, if I catch you with that boy, you know, that kind of thing. So, and I'm not this free with my dad. I'm saying this because of the point you raised.
Go ask your father. Yeah.
Go ask your father. I'm not that free with him. Even when it comes to sex education, I freak out. Personally, this is a personal experience. I freak out when people talk about it, and I do not want to talk about it at all. So, when you see a 15-year-old dating a 17-year-old, back to the question now, it's probably because something might have triggered that emotion. And what could that be?
I think it's
the social vices we see now. You see a 15-year-old watching a movie rated 18, and then she begins to feel, oh, I think because this guy told me to carry his bag for him, I think he likes me, or because he's the cutest guy in class and he comes talk to me and I think he likes me.
Well, you won't take away the place of hormones, because that's like puberty stage. You're
It's not
you're
possible to
learning
have
attraction.
You're learning, but what encourages that? You know, before you start to feel something, you must have seen something. Like, people get influenced. Let me use that word. You might feel it, but you don't want to talk about it, you don't want to dwell on it. But when you see something that triggers that, you'll be like, okay, she's doing it, I have to do it. So I think it boils down to influence.
Okay. John, you wanted to say something earlier.
Okay, let me add to it. Faith comes by hearing, and constant hearing. So also is fear. Fear comes by hearing. Now, from what she has said, let me pick from the point why dating. When you date, it helps your socialization in terms of mannerism, in terms of keeping to time.
So would you encourage it at that young age to help your mannerism, your social life?
I will encourage it with proper education and enlightenment. Let me give you a good case study.
Okay.
Now, if I have a child, either a boy or a girl, he goes to school. In the school, he sits beside somebody who is a classmate or a seatmate. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You won't tell me that they don't laugh, they don't play. It starts from there. So, when he moves to the secondary school stage, that there are some subject that does not have a clear understanding, or why they are in class, because as a mother and a father, you don't sit with them in the classroom. So in the classroom, there are some questions they ask each other. Now, I can get attracted to a girl. I say, okay, I like this lady because she's brilliant. She's the most brilliant girl in my class. Now, I don't like mathematics. She likes mathematics. Okay, if I move closer to her, she can help me with mathematics. That comes the place of purpose she was talking about. Right? Now, there is a relationship. Do you understand?
Okay.
There's a relationship initially. Either the parent is aware of it or not. So what we need to do as parents or as elderly ones in society is to enlighten these young kids out there. There's nothing bad in you bringing your friends to the house. There's nothing bad in you having a male or a female friend. Nothing bad at all. But then, when they are properly schooled, they can choose from their left to their right. In some clans, from 13-year-old, you are old enough to go into dating.
From 13-year-old?
Yes.
Phoebe, say something.
Please, I need us to make a clarification here. When it comes to relationships, there are various kinds of relationships. There's a relationship between parents, there's a relationship between siblings, there's a relationship between schoolmates. There is something called acquaintance. There is something called friends. There is something called lover. They are all relationships, okay? Now, from what I can get from his point of view, he's talking about friends. My child is in school. I have a daughter who is in JS1. She's in school. She has people in her class, male and female. She interacts with them. There are those who are her friends, and there are those who are her acquaintances. Within that midst, there is nobody that is her dating partner. And I will not take it either. And I don't think any right-thinking parent would open that door at this tender age. Like she said, sex education is a must. You as a parent, you have to teach your child whether that child wants to listen or not. And truly, there's no child who will not listen. It depends on your approach. But you must look for how to reach the heart of your child and teach your child what he or she needs to know about the opposite sex. You don't leave it open for that child to go and find out. So there is no room for dating at that tiny age. Yes, they have friends. Yes, they will have friends. Yes, they should have friends. Because a child who doesn't have a friend, please, that child definitely has an
Something's
issue.
wrong.
Psychologically, the child should be looked at. Okay? So yes, they must, they will, they should have friends. But friendship, please, it's not the same thing as dating.
Thank you for establishing that.
Coming up next on the show.
Things that matter to you during dating, relevant questions you should ask.
First of all, I would like to ask how much he earns.
And you hear of couples where they dated for what, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and I think it's ridiculous to date for that long.
I think
And
6 years is too long.
And yet get married for 1 year and divorce.
It depends on you to decide whether what happened during your dating period is going to determine who you become when you're married or not.
Which brings us to the question, why date? Okay, welcome back to the Inside Out Show. We're discussing why date, relevance of dating. What is the essence? What should you do during dating? Is dating against religion? I'm not going to say Christianity because we have lots of other, faith. Is dating anti-religion?
Okay. Dating,
is it something worldly people do?
Dating, in its essence, in its full essence, is a personal thing. It has absolutely nothing to do with religion. The only place it becomes a problem religiously is when you decide to throw morals to the wind whilst dating. But dating is a personal thing. And truly, it has to happen. Whether you are hiding it and doing it or you are doing it in the open, you must date someone before you can settle down with that person. But keep your morals straight. That is what is important. That is how I see it. It has to happen. It will happen.
Okay, Charles.
You hear people say, you said something that hit me. You said it's something that has to happen before you end up, married or whatever. And you hear people say, the excuse I hear all the time about dating is, you need to get to know the person very well, like she said, before you get married, just so your marriage, lasts and blah, 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 blah. My point is this. We've seen situations where my parents, for example, they never dated. If I tell you their story, it's very ridiculous, yeah? But then again, and it's ridiculous to me because I'm wondering how does that even happen? But they got married and whatever happened, happened. And you also see couples where, we didn't know ourselves, we got married and the marriage was blissful. And you hear of couples where they dated for what, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And I think it's ridiculous to date for that long.
I think 6 years is too long.
And yet get married for 1 year and divorce. And I'm wondering, so why are we even dating in the first place?
Can I jump in?
Of course, please.
Okay. I get your point. Loud and clear. My parents never dated. Okay? But truly, whether you date or not does not define what your marriage becomes. Okay? Whether you date or not, it doesn't define what your marriage becomes. Because truly, your period of dating before getting married, like I said, is a personal thing. It depends on you to decide whether what happened during your dating period is going to determine who you become when you're married or not. There are couples who got married even after 6 months of dating, and truly, believe me, they started dating from day one of marriage. I have experiences. They started dating from day one of marriage all over again. Some are in their 3rd year of marriage, and they're still contending with dating. Now, the real issue here should or is, who are you? Who are you? Internally, truthfully, to yourself, who are you? Because you don't clout everything with dating. No. Because if you date with that clout, your marriage can still end up in shambles. And if you don't date and you are not clouting anything, this is who I am. This is me. And the other person is also that truthful. Even without the dating, you both find out that you make what you have work.
So dating doesn't exactly guarantee a successful marriage.
It doesn't.
Which brings us to the question, why date?
Beautiful. Like I still repeat, it is a personal thing. You want to date, go ahead and date. It is your decision. If you're deciding to date to get to know the other person, it is a simple thing. I want to know you better.
Do you believe in the fact that you can just, from friendship, skyrocket into marriage?
Let's not forget, she said they've dated in the guise of friendship. So she said that. So you can't really skip it though. It's still there. It's still in there. Even though you say your friend, it's just still there.
It doesn't call the name dating.
You just refuse to call it what it is.
You just have to define
You
it.
don't give it a name. Where we have an issue is giving it a name. We want to name everything.
But what is wrong with giving it a name? It sort of brings about this exclusivity that, look, so if I see you with another girl tomorrow, I would know, okay, you're committed to me, you're dating me, you have no business being with another girl. But when you don't give it a name, it's like, well, I'm not even sure what we are. So,
Sanzi, you know what? There are some things we do on a daily basis that becomes an habit in our subconscious mind. So the scenario she's playing here is a scenario of they're just friends, casual friends, and before you know it, subconsciously they have developed that habit
Bond.
without both of them getting to know about it. So it wasn't intentional. It wasn't intentional, but they were just moving along the line. But they felt, if I didn't talk to this person, it's like I'm missing her. The same is also going at the other end. So that's how they were able to move beyond the stage of dating. They dated, but subconsciously.
But this is one out of many cases. So.
Yes.
One out of many cases.
Yes, we do agree, one out of many cases. But
Yes.
the fact still remains that whether you date or not, it does not define your marriage.
But Sanzi, there are some questions that we need to ask from dating to relationship and marriage. It's just so funny nowadays that you get to see guys and ladies, I'm in a relationship with this guy, and all they do is to go to cinema, watch movies, eat popcorn, take shawarma, eat all that they can eat, and that is all. But
buy
there are
presents, buy Valentine presents.
But I'm not against that. I'm not against you having fun and enjoying yourself, but there are more critical issues that you need to discuss. Now, when you're going into this dating, you have a mind that on the long run, I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this person. So it's a long-lasting experience that's going to last all the days of your life till you die. Because what you're going to sign is, till death do us part. So there are some critical issues you need to discuss right from there. Now, one of the issues is about sex, it's about food, it's about money. Do you understand? Who brings the money to the table? Is it a mutual benefit fund or is one-sided? Do you understand?
Okay.
Who foots the bill of the house? How do we do? These are
Is
issues.
that even a topic you discuss?
No, it is.
The bill of the house.
These are issues you discuss. You find out that most people who are married never discuss all of these issues. Now they find out that they get married and the husband is asking for some things in bed that wasn't asking why they were dating. And she's like,
No.
where did you get this from?
I understand the need to discuss sex, but the African society automatically, the man takes over the bill.
That's why we're having problem. That's why we're having problem. So these issues, if I should approach a young lady and I say, okay, young lady, come, I like you, I want us to start going out, and we start going out. The first question I will ask you is, what do you think about adoption? Because I want to adopt a child. And so when you tell me adoption, I don't like adoption, for me, it's a no-no. Right from the first day.
Okay.
Do you understand? So when I ask you some questions, I want to know what is your stand on this. So by the time we get along, this issue will not split the home because that issue can split that house. If I say I'm adopting a child and she's saying no, it's a two-way thing. Either you go your way, I go my way. Do you understand? So in the period of dating, relationship, and courtship, these are issues that we discuss about.
So those are relevant questions for you during dating. Helen, let me hear from you. Things that matter to you during dating, relevant questions you should ask.
I think we are beginning to see the importance of dating now. It's basically for asking questions, knowing each other better. First of all, I would like to ask how much he earns.
How much he earns?
Yes, because I would like to go out with someone. I would like to date someone I want to have a serious earned with. Okay, I don't just go out to take ice cream and then that's it. I want to be serious with that person, so I need to know how much he earns. Because I don't want to have future problems. Why can't we go on vacations? You told me you earn this. And secondly, I need to know his age.
Why is that, sorry, why is that the first question though? How much it earns? Why is that the first thing that comes to your mind? Because I have a problem with that. Why is that the first thing?
No, it might not necessarily be the first question, but it's one of the important questions.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Phoebe, you tell us why.
One is key.
Because a lot of you, I would ask how much you're making too. I would. So I'll get to you to tell us why women just like, ideally just pop out that question. But go on, Helen.
Another question is age. Okay. I do not want to be around you and sound disrespectful because you're older than I am. And I don't want to tell my friends that, oh, I'm dating a 35-year-old guy, and they're like, oh, okay, has he written his will? You know?
Wow.
Such questions do come out, you know? And age really matters a lot because I've really seen people get into, I don't know, conflicts because oh, you're not supposed to talk to me like that because I'm way older than you. And another third thing I would like to, you know, observe during dating is his composure, everything about him. His dress sense, from him walking out from the door, sit close to me, to his eating, to his talking, to his everything, the composure exactly. I would like to observe that.
So those are things that matter to you. Okay. Phoebe, now let's get to you. Before you give us the right questions, could you tell us why the average girl would always ask first, maybe not first, but somewhere along that first meeting, how much do you earn?
Selfishness.
Why? Really? Hold on.
Coming up next on the show.
What's your view on double dating? It's like, well, a lot of guys do it, and recently more women are even venturing into it because I can't put all my eggs in one basket.
Now, it's stupidity for you as a young man to keep hopping from one lady to another lady. It shows that you are not sane.
Serious-minded people don't clash fellow humans. Because you can't tell me, make a commitment. For that reason, I am with this person. Fine, you're with that person and go ahead. Because I'm going to take a walk.
Isn't it for financial security?
No.
It's
not.
not?
No. It's
because
not. Truthfully, every girl, including Moa, seated here, was selfish. Was selfish in the sense that you want that from another person's pocket. And yours is breathing. But it can't talk because you zipped it up. Why would I wait for you to have financial security? Please excuse me. Am I crippled? What? I don't look good enough?
Generally, and I'm sure you do have the same relationship with your husband, majority, well, maybe not, but majority of the bills come from your pocket. So I need that assurance that yes, you can provide. Yes,
Fine.
you can afford to pay
Now
rent.
let me tell you why that is a very big mistake. It is a very big mistake because today you meet this young man, handsome, with a very powerful ride, working in an oil company. And in your mind, you're like, ooh, that's a good catch. And then he comes along and actually says, you are my catch. And you're like, heaven help me. And you get into the relationship wanting to know what he earns. And he gives you this 6-7 figure. And your head is busting. And then 2 months into the marriage, he loses the job. Excuse me, will you pack your bags and go back to your mama? You're not going to do that. So that is an error. Don't go into a relationship wanting to know what the man earns. Stand your ground. Prove yourself. Let that man know that he is taking a woman home. Not a toy, not a plaything, not a money monger, not someone who wants to dig into his pocket. That is not what it is. Wow, okay. Wow. Okay? I can get into a boutique and buy my own clothes. If you decide to buy it for me, you love me. That's why you're doing it. I can pick up my bills. If you pick up my bills for me, you love me. If we have children together, I can pick their bills, so can you. You do it, you love me. I do it, I love you. That should be the basis. It is not what he earns. Because if he earns something today and he no longer earns it tomorrow, a problem starts.
Okay, thank you for clearing that out. I think this is like a big aha moment for a lot of us here, including for myself. I haven't heard it like this before. I'm going to be very honest. So, having established that, let's move on to relevant questions you should ask when dating.
The question is, do you know yourself that well? Do you know what you want for yourself? Do you know you? Do you know what you want from a relationship? Because if you cannot define you to you, you can never be able to define another person to you. So you need to first of all define you. Who am I? You need to know you. You need to understand you. Then you will know what kind of questions you want to ask the other person. So I cannot sit down here. Thank you. I cannot sit down here and tell you these are the questions you should ask, because I am me. You are you. He is him. All right? So it is who you are that determines what you're looking for. Now, what you're looking for also determines what questions you ask.
Wow. Okay. John, what's your view on double dating? It's like, well, a lot of guys do it, and recently more women are even venturing into it because I can't put all my eggs in one basket. What's your view on it?
It is demonic.
What? Double dating is demonic.
Yes, it is.
Why would you say so?
She said something about you knowing who you are, and there's a law of attraction. You get to attract the person that you are. So if I've said I'm going out with this lady, it means that in my mind I have settled all doubt that she is good for me and we are good to go that line. So for me to have a second mind of having another option or alternative, it means in the first case she is not good for me. So there is this line of lying. I'm not being truthful to myself in the first instance.
Are you saying you can't like two people
at the same time? It's not possible because of the likeness you're talking about. Now, I can like more than two people as friends.
I mean, like being extremely fond or maybe being in love with two people at the same time.
It's not possible. Once you are doing that, you are not being sincere to yourself, and that's the truth. Because you can never, even God said it. You can't serve two masters. You can't love two people. You can't love two gods. You must be one. So if I'm going with this person, it's this person. And then I said to you, it's demonic. For you to have that second mind of thinking of someone else, it means that somewhere along the line, something is wrong here. So if I were you, I'll sit down, ask questions, and let's fix this thing. And if it can't be fixed, let's part our ways peacefully.
That's funny. It's coming from a man because the average man double dates. Maybe 7 or 8 of them.
That is why I said that for the few of us that are reasonable and are sane, we should help to educate the ones out there.
Exactly.
Now, it's stupidity for you as a young man to keep hopping from one lady to another lady, it shows that you are not sane. It shows you are not normal. Do you understand? If some religious background accepts you to marry more than one, marry. Don't marry. Let's know, okay, it's legal. Do you understand? So when you say you are dating and you're double dating, then I ask myself, number one, I'm a business guy, so you're wasting money. You're wasting resources, you're wasting time. Then your heart and your head, mentally, you are not balanced because most of the time you want to call Cynthia, you are calling Janet.
All right, Charles, let's hear you.
I get what he's saying, but I think I want to speak for a minority that, beg to differ. When it comes to double dating, for example, let me paint a scenario. So I'm in a relationship. For every person, who is of dating age, we know what we want. We know that this person is right, Especially this is common amongst ladies. We know this person is right. But for some, he's lacking or she's lacking in specific areas. So I'm a lady, for example, I'm dating this person and I like him and all of that. And Mr. B walks up to me. And I realize that Mr. B is efficient where Mr. A is deficient. So because, I love this person, but hey, this person is offering what this person is not offering, I think I should just hang. Because I'm getting this. Like that's actually said, the reason behind it. So my mind tells me, I love you, but hey, you don't have money, he has money.
Yeah.
Hey,
so I'm getting the love from here, I'm getting the provision.
Exactly. But my mind tells me I know who I want.
I'll get to you, Phoebe. Helen, let me hear from you. Have you ever been involved in a situation like this, and what's your view on double dating?
Okay, as a female, definitely you would have advances. Even though you tell them, look, I'm dating. I'm like, oh, okay, I can handle it. They try to want to convince you.
That's true.
Crazy guy.
But I think it's up to the person. You need to exactly know what you want.
But you personally, do you believe in double dating? Have you ever double dated?
I do not believe in double dating.
Have you ever
It's a
tried
zero.
it?
No, I would not.
Are you sure? Because Phoebe, establish double dating for us first, so we'll know if we are guilty.
Okay. Double dating is when I am seeing you. Remember, we've established the definition of dating.
Yeah.
Specifically for a purpose. So I'm seeing you specifically for a purpose, and I'm seeing him specifically for a purpose. Now the question becomes, what purpose right now? Okay? Like he said, that's double dating, first of all. Seeing two people specifically for a purpose. If you're of the age of dating and you're seeing two people specifically for a purpose, please let me calm down. The purpose is nothing else again. It's marriage. That's your purpose. Yes. So if you are seeing me and you're seeing her and you're a guy, or as a woman, I'm seeing him and I'm seeing him, it is for the same purpose. So right now I'm saying to myself, like he said, I can't put all my eggs in one basket. I don't know who he's going to. And like he said, he has this, he doesn't have this. Please, my question is, if I am dating him and I am dating him, can I stand in front of both of them and wholeheartedly say, I am dating the two of you? Would that be possible?
Some people actually do it.
Yes.
Some people will tell you, know what, you're not the only person. If you're serious, make a commitment and I'll stick to you.
They are not dating.
That's a contract.
Do you get me? Do you get me? Whoever is able to do that is not dating. She in herself or he himself is not a serious-minded person. Serious-minded people don't clash fellow humans. Because you can't tell me, make a commitment. For that reason, I am with this person. Fine, you're with that person and go ahead. Because I'm going to take a walk. I am not serious to you. You don't see me as being serious. Even without making that commitment that you're looking for. You don't know what I'm looking out for. You don't know what is keeping me back. You don't know what is holding me back. And you've given me a ticket to walk away. I will walk away. It's simple.
A situation where you're dating, right? And I believe I'm speaking for a lot of women out there. You're dating and 3 years, I believe 3 years should be like at the end of 3 years.
Call it quits.
Is
At
it,
the
is
end
it a
of
course?
3 years.
Call it quits.
Okay.
You're not in school.
Is it a course of study?
I did not come to come and study you. I'm not going to get a degree on you. Okay?
No.
So you cannot keep me for that long. In fact, being that long in the name of dating, you yourself, you have issues.
Oh, good.
Yes, you have issues. Because if you don't have issues, you know what you want. And you believe you found. And unfortunately, the person has used everything available to tell you that I am not him. Oh, take a walk. Don't keep him somewhere and start looking for somebody else. It creates problems. Even within you yourself, you become a nutcase. It disturbs your psyche. It affects you spiritually. Because who am I dealing with? You're saying this from A. You're getting this from B. The vibes are clashing. Within yourself, you naturally develop issues. So it's not necessary. You see some girls that are walking on the road, they are talking to themselves. Check them very well. Something is wrong.
Okay. At this point, I would like to hear from my audience. Let's hear from you, sir.
I'll be very brief. Is it permissible that during courtship, partners or intended partners can have sex?
Yes. While courting, truthfully, seriously, it's a no-no. Because my reasons are very simple. Even if I don't want to go biblically, what we see every day tells you that you want to keep your dignity. A woman wants to keep her dignity, she wants to keep her respect, she wants to keep her head tall in front of that man anytime, any day. The same thing goes for the man. There was something she said when she was talking. I want to ask you your age because I don't want you to say you have insulted me. Please, mark my words. The moment you as a woman open your legs for a man, you are age mates. The moment the man climbs on top of a woman, you have become age mates with that woman. Whether you are 100 years old, she can talk to you the way she likes. Okay? So if you want to keep your dignity, you want to keep your respect, you want to hold your head high up, you need to put things in perspective. Keep sex where it should be. You can talk about it. You can discuss on it. You can get to understand each other on it. Verbally, do not practice. Practice is meant for only when you sign the dotted lines and she has said I do and you said I do. So at that point, anything goes.
Okay.
I think I believe in friendship rather than dating. Because as soon as you define it, there's a lot of pretense, a lot of hypocrisy. But if you're somebody that you've been around and you've known each other as a friend, there's nothing attached to it, you tend to know that person's real behavior, the reality of that's the real personality of that person. But as soon as you target dating, they pretense a lot of it. Yes. And I'm talking out of experience. I dated for 4 years. And I never knew the man I was dating.
Were you giving a certificate?
Come on.
Okay. And secondly, I want to say concerning, I don't believe in sex before marriage. But see, there are issues.
Yes,
there are issues.
What issues?
I want us to be sincere now. See, you get married to someone and the person cannot perform. Oh my God. And you know that you are hot. And only for you to come and, oh my God, what will I do? So what do we do? And you signed the document.
Good.
And that have led a lot of divorce. And it has
Yes. Now, I quite appreciate your truthfulness and your openness as far as this question is concerned. But then let's talk to most of our viewers who are watching this program today. Now, you are not going into dating or relationship once it's above 6-7 months. My brother and sister, ask yourself that question again. What are we in this for? Define it again. Call for AGM and then review, are we still good to go or not? For you to stay 4 years, that was what I was asking, that when you give me a certificate, because if you are going to school, you have completed a degree. So that to me is not really good. Now, to the issue of sex and the man not be able to perform, mind you, this is an issue that has been existing and will linger until the end of the world. It shows to you that there is a problem in your sexual life. And as a couple, because at that time you are married, I assume, and as a couple, these are issues. Because when you come together as husband and wife, there is openness. That's why you become naked in the presence of your partner, and you are not ashamed. Find a way, both of you, to solve that problem. So if there's a drug you know will help your man perform better, my dear, get that drug and bring to the house for him.
Okay. So to wrap up, Helen, sorry, let's have your final thought about dating.
I believe dating is important if you really want to get serious, and asking the right questions, doing your own findings. Like you said, there has to be a connection, and when there is a connection, do not get carried away by what you see. You need to understand this other person and try to find out if he is in line with your own focus as well. So
okay,
dating is important.
All right, thank you. So John, briefly in 2 sentences, your final thought.
My word will go out to the ladies out there. If you see any young man who is threatened by your career, it's not the man for you. It's never the man for you. Because as a man, you should be confident in yourself, in your ability, and your capacity to control the home, even if your wife is the world's president. So you should never be threatened. So if you find a woman like that, if you find a man like that, and is checking out, that man is not for you. So change your move and move to the next line. Thank you.
All right, Phoebe.
Okay, dating is essential, but it's not a must.
Okay.
If you don't want to date,
You can skip it.
it's a personal thing, okay? But if you decide to date, do it with your head on your shoulders.
You just said it, do you? Honestly, for me, I'm in the dating world as well, so this is a huge eye-opener and a learning process for me. So yeah, I have nothing to tell you. I'm just going to go listen all over again because I'm still trying to understand this dating industry. But thank you for watching today's edition of The Inside Out. Thank you so much to our partners, Beauty by Omalicha, KGM, Industries Nigeria Limited, Aquadana, Deli Foods, and Bakers World. Thank you so much for coming on board this show, and my audience, you are amazing. Thank you. My panelists. So thank you, everyone. I hope you learned so much. We can purify our dating industry and make it not really perfect. We can make it good again. We can make ourselves whole again and not just leave shattered parts of your heart before you get into marriage. So we can do better. Young people, we can do better. So until the next episode of The Inside Out Show, God bless you. Take care.